Today, I'm going to suggest a very radical idea. I hope you're prepared for this. So, please sit down if you aren't already. Are you ready? I think we should hold our elected politicians to the exact same standards we hold content creators and stand up comedians. I know. Absolute madness, right? Let me fan you gently so you don't faint from the shock. Because think about it. Every time some creator or podcaster says something controversial or edgy on the internet, they are dragged through hell and back. They are cornered, threatened, and forced to apologize. We demand that they be cancelled and that sponsors drop them. FIRs are filed in the other corner of the country, and primetime anchors break the story. What is happening to this country? Are these the role models of the new generation? But at the exact same time, our politicians, the people actually running the country, have gotten away with saying such incredibly horrendous things that you have to wonder who's really more influential. The kids putting up Instagram posts or the people dictating our national policy. So come, let's take a listen. I'm already giving you a trigger warning. It's not going to be great. And as I read these actual statements made by our politicians, I want you to play a game. I want you to imagine that this was said by a 20-something-year-old on a reel or at someone in your office. And think about the outrage that follows. And I have picked samples from all political parties. Mulayam Singh Yadav, Samajwadi Party, when asked about serial rapists. लड़के लड़के है, गलती हो जाती है. He said this when he was asked about what he thinks of the death penalty for these low-life scumbags, the worst kind of human beings that can exist. गलती हो जाती है.
रेप एक ने किया और 4 को नाम रखा दिया. अब 4 को रेप कर दिया. कभी ऐसा हो सकता है क्या?
Sanjay Nirupam of the Congress to Smriti Irani on live national television. आप तो टीवी पे ठुमका लगाती है, आज चुनावी विश्लेषक बन गई. Basically degrading a woman because of her profession. Oh, this is a more recent one. K.R. Ramesh Kumar, again Congress, in the Karnataka Assembly. When rape is inevitable, lie back and enjoy it. And the worst part is that people around him started giggling like school kids, like he made some kind of a hilarious joke. There's more. Anurag Thakur of the BJP on video while leading a crowd during an election campaign. He says, Desh ke gaddaron ko, and the crowd says, Goli maro salo ko. Basically egging on the idea of civic violence. No action, no consequences. He's still a prominent leader. Someone went to jail for inciting violence, but it wasn't him.
Wow. Fantastic.
Tapas Pal of the TMC was caught on tape threatening the opposition. मैं अपने लड़कों को भेज दूंगा और वो उनकी औरतों का बलात्कार करेंगे. Casually talking about rape as a political move. Akbaruddin Owaisi of the AIMIM. हिंदुस्तान में 100 करोड़ लोग और हम 25 करोड़. सिर्फ 15 मिनट के लिए पुलिस को हटा लो, बता देंगे किसमें कितना दम है. What a guy, threatening mass religious violence. Niranjan Jyoti of the BJP, who calls herself a sadhvi, says this during an election rally. आपको तय करना है कि दिल्ली में सरकार रामजादों की बनेगी या हरामजादों की. I don't know, man. These sadhvis don't seem that holy to me. And finally, Ramesh Biduri of the BJP to a fellow MP on the floor of the parliament. ये मुल्ला आतंकवादी है, बाहर फेंको इस मुल्ले को.
उग्रवादी कटवे सर, ये जो श्रेय अगर जाता है तो देश के प्रधानमंत्री को जाता है. ये आतंकवादी है, उग्रवादी है, ये मुल्ला आतंकवादी है.
Do you feel uncomfortable that I just said all of those things? Good. You should. You should feel uncomfortable. Maybe a little disgusted. But I am simply quoting our leaders. If you feel uncomfortable that I said it, your blood should be boiling that our representative said it. And they all got away with it, with some half-assed apology and short-lived outrage. And this is just a very tiny sample of things many politicians have said over the years. Now imagine for just a second saying what a politician said in your office tomorrow morning. HR would be called before you even finished your sentence. Your Slack access would be revoked. Your manager would be losing their mind and you would be locked in a room doing mandatory POSH training for the foreseeable future. You would be lucky if you weren't fired or arrested or both. So I genuinely think that there needs to be mandatory POSH and basic human decency training for politicians in this country. Because if the norms of speech and behavior are stricter for an entry-level employee than a so-called political leader, what are we doing here? If these people can't control their language in public, how do we expect them to be in control while running a government? And now, here's where we look in the mirror again. This has happened because the level of political discourse in this country is a gutter. As a collective, we are as responsible for this as the politicians. Because the outrage cycle lasts for like 2 days. After that, people stop caring. They move on to something else real quick. The only people who keep talking about it are the opposition. But if a politician from the party you support says something vile and even criminal, you will stay quiet. You may even defend it. Because we care more about owning the opposition than we do about holding these people accountable. And here's the thing. You shouldn't want your leaders to stop saying horrible shit just to protect the feelings of people. You should want them to stop because you respect yourself too much to be represented by someone who speaks like a thug. And before you argue with me in the comments, go check who you hire to run your country. And then tell me that we can't do better. Now, I know that you're going to forget everything I just said as soon as you drop off this video. So I've left a link in the description that you can go to right now. It's a petition you can sign where we demand POSH training for all politicians. It may not make much of a difference, but if we get enough signatures, at least we can get this to reach a wider audience. We can show our politicians that we are paying attention, that we are not okay with the level of discourse in this country. It's the least we can do. I'm Gautam. This is the Indian Evolution. I'll see you in the next one. Stay with me.